All right, our players are ready, so this is going to be game number 2 between Millenium, Stephano, and Rain KiWiKaKi.
That's right.
We have it.
The countdown, and then the loading screen,
The
and
anticipation screen.
then the carnage.
Yes. Hopefully more carnage than anything else. All right, so down here at the 6 o'clock position on Shattered Temple, we have our pink Zerg player who is up 1-0. That is Millenium Stephano. Let's hear a cheer.
All right, and at the top of the map, the survivor Protoss making it all the way through the open bracket to face his nemesis again here on the main stage. Give it up for Rain KiWiKaKi.
All right, so here we are, man. Game number 1 started with Kiwi going after actually a build that I had seen him do quite a bit. Was that double gateway, chrono boosted zealots, just trying to put on some pressure. And we got to say, we were pretty happy with the amount of pressure Kiwi put on there at the beginning. Was able to take out that third from Stephano pretty easily.
Yeah, he killed the third. That cost Stephano some time and resources. After that, though, you know, it's like I keep saying, I really feel that Zergs just have this Stargate play figured out, you know, that Protoss players can do. There's just very few Protoss players that I've seen that can make the Stargate play work, and they keep trying it. So, I don't know. I feel like Protoss players need to find a few different things to do against Zerg. We do see a little bit of variation, but the prevalence of Stargate, I think, is making it easy for Zerg almost.
Yeah, certainly. You've been talking about it. It's almost a coin flip, especially when you go, you were saying that that was the right approach, put on pressure, then maybe transition to Stargate after that, but even then we saw that if it's picked up easily, a Zerg player can defend against it without really much of a problem, as Stephano was able to drop down those spore crawlers right away, drive away those Void Rays, and even maybe more importantly, counterattacked at just the right time, pulling those Void Rays off and inflicting significant damage, killing 25 workers in that first run by.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to say at all that Stargate play in PvZ is a bad thing to do. It's certainly not a bad strategy at all. It's just something that Zerg players have seemed to figure out really effective ways to handle. So, you know, it becomes a little bit more dangerous to try. But we'll have to see what KiWiKaKi has planned. He is going to be Forge expanding. Pool on the way, the gas just finished for Stephano. What?
KiWiKaKi was, he had these like 4 million rally points all the way around this hatchery, and the hatchery got down nonetheless. So, yeah, sad. KiWiKaKi should have just made a like an upset face there with rally points. But
like, what do I do with my life now? I can never go home.
Quick Nexus out for KiWiKaKi. Forge just finishing up as well, so he should be able to remain protected against any sort of a quick run-by as he establishes a nice 2-base economy to begin this game.
Yeah, you can see KiWiKaKi doing some scouting with his probe as well, and trying to look for any hidden expansions, trying to just make sure that he has all the information he can about his opponent, and he could even, you know, proxy a building or two. I doubt that's what we're going to see, but he's being very thorough about all this.
Could very well be proxy tech. We'll find out. Or that probe could just be used for a delayed scout later on, but the position of that does make you go,
Yeah, and you know, it may not even be intentional that he sent him right there too. You know, when you're playing a game real quick, you click on the minimap for where you want your worker to scout, and he might have just kind of clicked over on that area. But I don't know, that probe has me a little bit suspicious. We'll have to see if anything comes out of that.
Rogue Zergling is running across the map as well. Maybe it'll pick up on the probe. We'll find out. Nope, probe making its way back down, but here we have...
All right.
Can't even successfully hide. Missed rally points, now can't hide against a Zergling. Basically a failure.
It's the mean streets of Shattered Temple, man. I mean, it's dangerous for a probe to be out there by himself.
That is true. He's going to make his way back on creep here in a second. That queen will be there to intercept, or moving itself off of creep way on the left-hand side. But anyway,
just chilling out.
One way or another. Yes. And so we do have double gateway coming back up for KiWiKaKi, and he is without gas once again. So we are going to see that early Zergling attack. Yep, there we go, right into 2 Zealots. He usually puts out 4 to 6 of them, then throws down quad gas, produces a couple more units, and then ends up running into his opponent after that.
Well, the cool thing about that on this map is that your Zerg opponent is generally not going to be able to take a very fast third, so you can actually put that pressure right on his natural expansion instead of on the third, and sometimes that can be pretty beneficial. But, you know, Zergling speed is going to be done in time. It all is going to depend on if Stephano does produce enough. Oh, he's actually going to send it right to break the rocks. Cool. KiWiKaKi wanting a fast third himself. That's kind of neat.
Well, yeah, and it's one of those situations as well where, kind of like we were talking about, I forgot if it was earlier today or yesterday, but if your units aren't doing anything anyway, and you're going to wait for a few more Zealots to come out, you might as well have them do something and take out those destructible rocks, although a Zergling just sitting by here kind of hanging out, seeing what's going on. Sees a lot of Zealots on the field. I think Stephano's going to be a little bit better prepared. But KiWiKaKi, obviously, with that probe that was on the right-hand side, is already aware of this little bit hidden third.
Yeah, he sees all 4 Zealots, like you mentioned, and he also sees them hitting the rocks, too. So only producing 6 Zerglings, though, you know, he can kind of tell that KiWiKaKi doesn't want to get too aggressive with this just yet. Instead, starting a Lair and a Roach Warren as well. So kind of going into something similar to what we've seen him do a lot this weekend, getting the Speedlings, getting the Roaches, getting the Roach upgrades, and then just being really big and powerful with that big, like, meaty Roachling army.
And we are going to have a very quick, or a lot of very quick Roach upgrades, as 3-base Roach with the Evolution Chamber in place is going to be pretty effective. And look at this, Stephano says, you go after your destructible rocks, I'll take the other side of them.
Yeah.
And so he wants to open up another flank, and there we go. Excuse me, just as you were saying before, KiWiKaKi has his 3rd Nexus coming down.
Now, Stephano is actually looking to take a quick 4th base because he has already started his 3rd down at about the 4 o'clock position. Oh, but KiWiKaKi knows. He's got the Zealot sense, sending him some Zealots down. Does Stephano have enough Lings? Not right now at the moment here. KiWiKaKi hesitating just a little bit. He needs to be moving in before more Lings come out.
Lings are coming at the top left-hand corner as well, and they are going to be able to take down KiWiKaKi's 3rd. Let's hope that he's able to save that. I'm actually going to look at that here in just a second just to make sure he gets the cancel. Yes, he does, but he is going to go to town on Stephano's 3rd.
That's a lucky queen right there. She just is like, excuse me. Pushing through there. And the hatchery is going to go down. Not a lot that Stephano can do about that. Yep, Zealots are not going to be killed in time. And again, Stephano losing a quick 3rd to this little Zealot poke by KiWiKaKi.
Yeah, certainly. A lot of Zerglings actually went down as well. I believe 8 of them. So he got a little bit of extra benefit for his money. But at the same time, Stephano ran by with those Lings straight into the natural as well and killed a couple of probes. Workers killed. Stephano's killed 5 altogether. Nothing for Kiwi at the moment. He is bypassing Stargate altogether just to move straight into 6 gate with +1.
Yep, moving into Robo as well, so that is kind of the tech he will be choosing. Love to see some sort of Warp Prism play out of KiWiKaKi. He's one of the players that I actually haven't seen do that too often yet, but, you know, it's becoming more and more popular. I mean, you know, Special Tactics, White Ra, you know, showed us what can be done with it. We might see some more.
KiWiKaKi's one of those players that's always on the forefront of new builds and new strategies.
Yeah, he always has been, absolutely.
These Zerglings are going to make their way into the left in a second. They should just run up and go kill that. But anyway, they'll figure it out there in a second.
They're
like,
hey, it's warmer here. Oh, yeah, there's the ramp. Oh, we found it. All right, good. Oh, and there's no Nexus.
You know, Kiwi, you know, one of the, you know, a couple of patches ago, whenever the Warp Gate timings were changed and they decreased the build times for things to come out of just normal gateways, those are cute dancing Zerglings. He's got to watch out for those sentries, though. Pretty good control. Has to watch out for the second set. No, looks like Stephano's just going to run on by. KiWiKaKi's figuring out, though, that, hey, I can still put up a bunch of units, delay my Warp Gate technology for a good period of time, put on that pressure, and almost guarantee myself the hatchery kill as long as I chrono boost out those early Zealots, because people just aren't prepared.
Exactly. Oh, look at this. A Robotics Bay and a Warp Prism on the way. You might just use that Robotics Bay for the Warp Prism speed, or you may be planning on getting Colossi a little bit later after doing some harassment with it, too. But this is so cool. I love this. This tournament is at such a great time because it's really letting us see a lot of these brand new strategies in PvZ.
And Stephano lost a few Lings there. Was thinking about busting through with Roaches, but he's going to send those right up through the middle. There's not a ton of units here for KiWiKaKi. He's going to have to back up to a couple of Photon Cannons. There are some of those in place, but this Forge is going to fall down very quickly.
Yep, that plus armor upgrade is never going to finish the Forge, getting insta-gibbed right there. And KiWiKaKi, you know, he's very sentry heavy here. He used a lot of energy for those force fields. And the Roaches, you know, they know that there's probably still some force fields left, so just going to call it a day right there. Killing the Forge is kind of nice.
Forge maybe even getting Jethro gibbed. We do have the Roaches making their way out to the top left-hand corner. They're going to start picking away at the destructible rocks. Of course, KiWiKaKi is on top of this, moving a bunch of his units across. And of course, the longer this attack takes to hit, Stephano's sending most of his forces home. The longer this would take to hit, the more prepared the KiWiKaKi was going to be. And he's actually in a really good spot. He's got 3 base up.
Here comes the Warp Prism on the right side of the map at the 3 o'clock. There it is.
Is it under attack yet? No, but a Queen is being sent over now, but there's...
Oh, that's because there's a fight over on the by the ramp at the 3rd. I'm like distracting him, like, we're not going to look at anything that's happening now.
There's only a couple of Roaches over there, though. As we saw before, Stephano pulled most of his forces away. That Warp Prism actually pulling away, just losing exactly 100 shields. No permanent damage.
It's good. Yeah, I mean, the new higher health for the Warp Prisms as well is really making Protoss players more willing to use them. Oh, he might scout that base coming up as well. Does he see it? He does indeed, and right away KiWiKaKi turning that warp prism into the mode where it lets you warp in a couple of units, and
still no warp ins.
So
okay, we'll see. We'll catch back up with that in a bit. He is moving up to 8-gate double forge, though, so he's going to have a pretty powerful gateway push here in a bit. Stephano, on the other hand, he already has Corruptors in the mix because he picked up on Colossi. He's putting up 2 hatcheries at the same time. One of those, of course, the base that KiWiKaKi is privy to, but not attacking. And that Roach actually can't see the warp prism that's up on the high ground because there's no air units around there.
It's like a beautiful chandelier of death. Kind of rotating there above the cliff.
Chandelier of death.
Oh, look at that. Stephano with some nice foresight there, burrowing his Hydralisks to keep that knowledge from KiWiKaKi. Wants to try to prevent KiWiKaKi from knowing about those. Now,
but he did see the Hydralisk down with the
hallucinated
Phoenix.
Well,
so,
never mind. I guess those Hydras were just cold then.
There are 3 Corruptors in the mix now. Actually, there should be a few more. Let's take a look at the units tab. Yeah, 8 actually on the field altogether. Taking a look, is this? No, this is still layer tech. We've not gone up to Hive quite yet. So no Greater Spire incoming. Those Corruptors just going to be used as anti-Colossi deterrent.
I mean, KiWiKaKi not getting aggressive at all, taking that gold. He's just kind of saying, I'm just going to keep macroing, and if you want to come attack me, go for it. You know, I'm just going to have a nice big army. I'm just going to take some bases.
And the Corruptors see the Warp Prism at just the moment. All the Zealots come in. If that had been about 5 seconds beforehand, that would have been very, very good, as KiWiKaKi is pushing across the middle of the map. But because there's nothing distracting Stephano, he's going to be prepared for that attack.
Stephano trying to push ahead. KiWiKaKi buying some time with those force fields.
And Kiwi's going to push up. Now these
Colossus going down.
Yeah, and it looks like the second's going to fall very quickly as well.
And these Hydras are going to be so effective right now.
And so Stephano making his way back up. These Corruptors are low health, but certainly not dead. They are going to kill the last Colossus. Now there's just a handful of Stalkers remaining. However, there's really not that many reinforcements coming up for Stephano. So these Stalkers and Immortals should be able to hold off this. Now, Stephano still did kill those very, very expensive Colossi, so he did his job. He did everything that was necessary there. But KiWiKaKi still does have a few units left over.
Is KiWiKaKi actually just gonna, he's gonna walk back there. He's gotta know there's some units burrowed as well.
Oh, sure.
And where are the observers for KiWiKaKi right now?
Let's see, there's actually none on the field.
Oh, there's not any out there. All right, so he's not gonna be able to see that. There is a cannon warping in though at his gold, so he will be able to see those at some point.
Yeah, Corruptors were trying to pick off a random Colossus, but they fly over the Stalkers. 2 Corruptors have already fallen.
Oh, man.
A 3rd goes down. A 4th is just kind of keeps going up.
Wow. Pay attention, Corruptors.
And the Hydras are making their way over to the left, but there's only 1 probe there. They will get a couple of photon cannons, it looks like, though.
Yep. Oh, that's a big warp in from KiWiKaKi. 2 more Colossi out right now. The Corruptors, though, are going to be able to take them down so quickly. But you know what? Stephano just does not have a lot besides the Corruptors to handle those Stalkers of KiWiKaKi right now.
No, you're absolutely right. He is moving up with a few more Hydralisks, though. And the Hydralisks are very, very effective against Mortals and Stalkers alike. And these 3 Stalkers, Hydralisks on the left-hand side are actually about to pick away at that Nexus.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, they actually are. They're not going to be able to get it, but it was close. And those Corruptors, again, just sitting there. They're on hold position. 3 more Corruptors getting taken out by Stephano. He has been playing so well up to this point, man. I mean,
luckiest Hydra in the world just kind of skirts by the forces out of KiWiKaKi. Hey, guys, what's up?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what's happening with Stephano here. I mean, he's been losing a lot of Corruptors easily. I mean, maybe he wants to free up some supply. I suppose that's possible, but really losing maybe a few too many here.
Yeah, and let's see, he's going to make another push here in just a second, as there are still a lot of forces left over, but all of a sudden the anti-Colossi threat seems much less, as those Colossus are starting to go to work. They've